forward there, Mr. Reynolds. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
I'm going to turn you up.
Sure, if you have any injuries, pay attention to it. Substitute techniques, exercise for things you can do. Back. Big open circles. And again, into the nose, out through the mouth. Don't hold your breath. Don't sacrifice good technique for speed or power. Opposite directions.
Oh my God, thank God for allergy meds.
Oh, I bet.
I can breathe through my nose.
Reverse.
The only thing bothering me is this right ankle still, because I'm not able to get that surgery done.
Yeah, well, you don't want to go anywhere near a surgery center right now anyways. Crossing.
Correct. Now, I really hope this works out for Jim.
Yeah.
I want to get back to sparring with Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I like to get back just to something. This
the
is
first time that people are getting sick again, just be prepared for people to not show up.
yeah. What can you do, right? You step out, reach.
Oh, those hip flexors are stiff.
Still tight, huh?
Yeah, a little tight today.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. Knees forward and back. Just don't put too much snap on the things, because what that will do will kind of bypass them and then just make them tighter and sore tomorrow. So slow extension is the best way to handle those tight muscles. Work them through the full range of motion. Open circles.
I will say,
Closed.
more kung fu's a week, which is actually pretty good.
Step leg out, circles. Reverse. Up and down. Toes. Other foot. Reverse. Up and down. Toes. Okay, so let's go, speaking of legs, let's lift. Let's do one round of knee, 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 back, back. And then we'll do some lifting and get those hip flexors and the hamstrings activated. So left, right, left, right, left, right. One, knee up, knee up, knee up, knee up. Stiff-legged back, stiff-legged back. And two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. Eight. Nine. 10. Okay, move around a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to pull up to the side from a side kick position without doing the side kick. So there'll be, if you go slow, there's only so much room, so much height you can get. When you go quicker, of course, you can go higher. But what we want to do is go up to where it's about to stop, reach underneath, and lift it to the other side. And so we're going to go lift, and then just lift and then hold. Okay, 1, 2, and when you lift, the heel is on the side here. Keep that heel going in that direction. So when it lifts up, keep the heel up. And then pull it up at the end. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So I'm thinking, with beginners, you're not a beginner by no means, but something that we can come back to is that a beginner's balance is not very good. Their flexibility isn't very good, so they use dynamic motions to get their foot in place. And they never learn how to control the foot to the place, to the start, to the middle, or to the end. And we just bypass it. And over time it sometimes happens, but it can be a lot better for them if they go slower. So what we're doing on this one is we're lifting it up to the point to where, you can't throw a high kick because in a static position you can never go as far as you can dynamically. So we want to get it up to there. Then I'm just going to reach underneath, lift it up a little further. I'm going to slowly extend it in a straight line out, slowly pull it back, lift it up a little higher, and then set it down and make sure I got good posture. Okay, this is good for us advanced students to remember what it feels like. It's really good for basic students. Okay, so here we go. It's a side kick. Ready? 1. Then you lift it up to a good high chamber, slowly extend it out, rotate it, pull it back, let the hand go, set it down. 2, try to get as much control over the motion as you can. The hand is just a helping hand, it isn't doing all the work. Try to have it only do as much lift, let it go, set it down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, this side I'm going to need a little help here.
Okay, good. Support that leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Hey, circle those hips around.
Oh, that's a great exercise.
Yeah, it really actually is if you do it right. Other direction. The trick is to pick a direction and push. The trick is when you're losing your balance is not to just speed your kick up and get past it, for this training anyways. It's to stop your movement, get your balance back, so you're training only one thing at the same time. Other direction. And the benefit for all of us, but also for beginners, is that a lot of times a side kick or any kick, the momentum is what gets the foot up. So they start their extension, if you watch closely, like it's already extended. So most of it's swinging up. What this does is, you gotta go up and you gotta go out. So we're going up. Now our body's only going out. And it sets the trigger for when to actually chamber and extend the kick out. So now we'll go to the other side, but we're going to go to I'm in a right bow, so I'm kicking left. So I don't want to be here all day, so I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit, but ideally we would do 30 of these at the same speed from different stances is what we did. So we did the first 10 from here. We'll go a little quicker for time constraints here. Then the third set would be here. Okay, so I don't think we'll do the third set, we'll just do this one. Okay, here we go, same thing. 1, chamber, lift, extend, pull back, set down. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Step up, step back, and everything to the other side. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 4. 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Move the hips. Other direction. Pick a side and hold. Other side. Then you go ahead and grab a leg and pull it back and stretch the front part. Starting from here all the way up to the hip. Put that foot down and grab the toes and get the hamstring in there. Other side, same thing. Hold it back. Find that stretch in the front of the leg. So those muscles tighten up. They kind of make your kick lower, but you can't even tell they're tightened up until you stretch them. Especially if you have good, strong legs. Okay, go out and grab your toes. Stretch out that hamstring. Keep the knee slightly bent so that it's a fist distance above the knee, not in the knee. It's in the knee joint. You're stretching a tendon or things that you shouldn't be. Okay, shake it out. Okay, so when you're doing this type of training, you don't want to now move into fast, snappy kicks. You could, but those muscles, just probably not a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend we're on set 3. Set 3 is our work set. So we put our 4-pound, 2-pound leg weights on. Okay, now we're not going to use the hand, which means that we're going to kick a lot lower, but we're going to make sure our stability and our balance is there. So from the horse stance, and if I actually have the leg weight on, I might actually grab my foot if my foot is going out and down. I do not want to ingrain that habit. So if my foot was going out and down, I would use the hand to make sure it never goes lower than the first part. So we are going to act like we have weights on, and we're not going to use our hand because since we don't have weights, we have to take the hand out of it. Step up, chamber, extend slow, retract. 1, 2, 3, don't use momentum to get your kick high. Just extend it out and left. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Other side. 1. Again, don't use momentum. The height of the kick isn't what we're doing here. It's the control of the kick. 2, but still go as high as you can. Without throwing it, take your time. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, in your horse stance, elbows on the inside of those knees, and shift back and forth, and work your way down. Okay, back up, shake it out a little bit. So there's things we should learn at yellow belt that we need to, that we don't, and that's the control of the body. But we're so busy at a yellow belt trying to figure out our insecurities and why our kicks don't feel good, and trying to follow the higher belt that a lot of times we throw and then we just keep it that way. For self-defense, I guess I would rather throw the kick than go. But if we don't learn that, it either happens automatically, which is great, but if not, we have to come back and learn it. And for me, it's not a problem. For some higher belts, it's an ego thing. They can throw a side kick up, and then when they do this exercise, they have no balance, and they're, and they just don't want to do that, so they refuse to do that. That's why I always use the leg weights, is to give them something to say, oh, hey, it's the leg weight is the reason I can't kick high. So that can be done with any kick. 30 should be enough. Your legs should feel good. Now let's go ahead and incorporate that into our side kick as a defensive side kick. So I'm going to step with my left. I'm going to shin check, like the lesson yesterday, with my right, but I'm going to hook it to that place where we were, where I lifted it up and extended it out and pulled it back, and then I'm going to set it down and sink down. So this is not combative in the sense that if you see the front kick coming in, it looks like this, right? Bam. Hey, that's actually easy for us higher belts to do. That's easier. I can do 100 of those. This one, however, is going to take more control, and actually for the muscles and the control of the side, this area, it's going to take a lot more work. Hey, so that's what we're doing. So still visualize the kick. The step doesn't have to be a full bow. Slight step in. As your weight shifts, here comes this front kick. You're going to go straight at it. When you impact it, the circle comes back and chamber, and that's your pivot. Reach underneath your leg, extend it out, pull it back, upright your body if it's leaning, set it down into the horse stance without falling, then center yourself. And then stand back up. Okay, so defensive side kick, right? 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Okay, so he was right-footed, so I'm opening him up, right? So his foot's doing this. We're going to the other side. If he's still right-footed, my sidekick either has to go really high or kick him in the butt or hit this supporting leg. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to visualize him now being left-footed, okay? So in your mind, switch your attacker so that you're not training wrong. Okay, 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8.
I'm switching legs.
Sure. 9. 10. The funny thing about this type of repetition is that when the body gets used to what it's doing, it will relax certain muscles so you can do it with less energy. So we're so combatively, all of us that train regular, are so programmed to have that tension on the kick so that we can do some damage, that even when we go slow, you'd be surprised how tense you are at the end.
Yes, sir.
This is set 4, so already my extension, the kick is loosening up to where there's no binding anymore. It's taken that long to do that. That's great. However, of course, that's going to help the hips and the flexibility, but I got to take note of that because I don't want to do that on my regular kicks. I don't want to loosen up to kick high and hit somebody with a loose leg, right? So just kind of understand that. We're going to go to the other side, and we're going to lower the kick. We're not going to use the helping hand, and we're going to make sure we fully extend to now lockout with the thrust, the rotation, and the tension, but don't leave it there. So, looks like this. Goes up, lock, extend, and step back. Okay, so just make sure when you're going to go back that way. I usually like to have you go forward, but don't be falling back as you kick. Okay, make sure you penetrate. Okay, 1 second.
Hi, sir.
Water.
Me too.
Those slow classes, those slow burns like this, I use up all the oxygen in the air and all the moisture, so that's why I needed water. Okay, so here we go. So the speed is kind of the same, but your tension's going to be greater, which you're going to feel, if you did that right, you can feel the difference of what I'm talking about. Okay, 1. Okay, don't fall into the back motion. If you watch me one more time, watch this. I can go any direction. I'm going this way because it's the best way for me. I'm not already falling that way. Again, the problem with going too fast in class, 1 back, 2 back, 3 back, is your body knows you're going that way, so why would it ever upright? So train yourself that this is back, and then you can go any direction. So upright yourself. Okay, here we go. 2. Back. 4. Back. Remember, you're checking. 5, which means you're hitting his shin right here, or his calf, I mean. Then extend out and then back. 6. Back. 7. Back. 8. Back. 9. Back. 10. And as always, as I said before, but the retraction on these ones should be a little quicker than the other ones. Other direction, same thing. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, stretch your leg back. See if the top part needs it. Nope. Hamstring. Yep. Other leg. And shake it out. So again, basic class, if we were doing never done those kicks before, we just did 50 of them, right? Each leg. It's not really a lot, but it is a lot.
It feel looser at the last part.
Yeah, isn't that interesting that, you know, this is a lot more, now I would be way more comfortable going fast without worrying about pulls. We're not going to, but toward the end of it, my hips and everything loosened up and it became more correct, I guess.
I just turned off the tension.
Yeah.
I did tension, I did the rotation of the hip, it was a little lower, but I just turned off all the tension.
Yep.
And total control.
Yeah.
Back to flexion, back to a cat,
Yep.
back to any.
So you can go any direction. That's a pretty important thing to learn because the classes get you so hyped up, right? That you just got to get back, especially if you had 2 opponents in there. I mean, you're not going to be thinking, but still, this is good practice. So that might take, once you get the concept, that might take only 20 reps, not 50, but it might take 100. If you're doing this for the first time or whatever, what I do with beginners is for every 10 kicks, the muscles that you did, you stretch for 10 seconds. And then you go to the next set. We left that out because, you know, just time-wise, but you should add it in. Okay, so let's go back to the side kick a little bit. And let's think about some things for a second as we do them. Okay, so if you're in a good bow stance, that foot position is flat, is almost in a sidekick position. Sometimes you're off over here, but the position it's for a sidekick would be that way. Okay, so if I just lifted my foot up, I'm kind of in a sidekick. Problem is that we don't walk that. We don't walk this way. We walk this way. And because of that, you can see a lot of people's sidekicks pull up this direction with the foot down. And in the scheme of things, if that's hard, that ain't going to do a big deal, right? You got your boots on, who cares? But to train and master the body, we master each weapon. And so that's considered wrong, not because it's not effective. In self-defense, what's right is what works, and whoever lives, right? But in the mastery of the art, it's my little pinky better do what I tell it to do, or I haven't mastered it yet. So from this position here, our sidekick, back, side, side, to the front. Each one will create a little bit more pivot. So we're back to basics right now, because it's a basic class. This foot isn't going to have to move. So this leg is going to pull up, extend out, pull back, and set down. That's it. Okay, so here's my target, knee high. Lift, extend, back. Okay, we'll just do 5 of these, okay, without moving this leg. 1, 2, just get the feel of that. 3, feel how your knee is a hinge now. 4, 5, edge of the foot. Okay, other side, edge of the foot. Last 2 inches of the heel if you can. 1, 2, 3, which leg do you have more control over? 4, both of them I hope. 5, okay, now switch. So if you were paying attention and had a tight ankle, you were training proper. If you're letting your foot flick out there, you need to go back and stop and redo those 5, and then you have to do 5 more to catch up. We're going to shift the target to the side. This time, this foot has to make a little bit of a pivot on the extension. So you remember the chamber, this foot doesn't pivot, it binds your hips up, and you end up kind of leaning forward. Some people have natural wider hips and they can do that, but I'm not one of them, and it's not the proper kick. So toes are forward, that direction, chamber, on the extension, you pivot on the ball of the foot. So on the extension, and it pivots back. If you're on, a hardwood floor or good flooring, you can do this. If you're on carpet, just deal with it. Okay, 1, control it. 2, 3, I just want you to feel that knee. 4, it hinges in and out. 5, foot leads. 6, out and back. 7, it's really 8, get that pivot down. 9, this is the easiest way to learn to pivot. 10, kicking low and kicking smooth. Other side, 1, 2, 3, just knee high is all. 4, 5, 6, 7, foot out, 8, foot back, then down. 9, remember that pivot. 10. So each time we train a little bit different. So this is a way to get a person to pivot right. Switch stance, and if you're not bobbing, it's a good thigh workout. Okay, so we went there. That's the easiest one. Then there, next easiest. Now we're going to go 45. So this foot has to pivot all the way over to almost 90, but almost toward that. But keep it angled. If I set back down, I'm kind of in a bow stance this way. Okay, so dissect your circle, 45 degrees, lift, foot position, pivot, retract. Okay, so now I'm just getting you back to here. So pivot, back to the bow. Okay, so that's what we're working on, is the pivot. Ready? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, work the pivot, guys. 2, where you start and end, right here, right? 3, and then right back to here, then set it down. 4, 5, you don't need hands anywhere but on the side here. You put them up here, make sure they're not doing things like this. So I keep them here because I'm not working on my posture here, I'm working on my lower body. 5, 6, stay level. 7, 8, 9, 10. And switch. So this is all about control. Once you have control at the knee level, all quadrants, quarters here, you just raise it up to the midsection until you have control and you keep going. So now, since we're working on the pivot, going forward, you have to pivot more. Okay, so the first lift and the pivot, my toes will be facing that wall, which is here. As I start to extend, again, the second pivot comes in, and then back. We stop this position, then we turn around, because we don't want to torque the knee out, and it's probably not where we'd be in combat. But that second pivot I mentioned doesn't really stop like I did. It goes all the way through. Okay, so it goes to here, then I start the other one, it comes back, and then it comes back to here. And then I put my foot down, then I'm going to go pivot again to where it's straight, and then I step back. Okay, so you want to watch for this pivot. It's not good for the knee over training, but it also is horrible in combat. Okay, so this is the full pivot. Here we go. 1, 2, and knee high is good, guys. We're learning pivots today. 3, 4, hands down, hands down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, full side kick. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, stretch it down. Good job.
Definitely better on my multiple.
Yeah, balance is usually the first thing that prevents people from kicking well. They don't realize it, so they kick quicker, and it just camouflages the balance issue. Balance is a component. You gotta have a little bit of strength and flexibility for the balance, a little lower. Once you get that down, the rest of it is just paying attention to the part of the body that needs the most work, and not going as high as you want to go, and not letting your ego get involved.
It's just amazing how one little detached tendon changes everything.
Doesn't it though?
It does.
Bend the knees. So the advantages, the benefits.
Right really hard.
Yeah, the benefits of getting injured, because you could either is that you do learn that, and if you keep that mindset, even if you're not injured, it's the same thing. The shoulder effects are, right? But if you don't know that, you're focused on, but now you're like, how's my tendon affecting my foot position in the other foot? But take that into your learning, and man, you have a wealth of knowledge. I mean, I think I got better because of my hip than I would have without it, even though I would have preferred never to have the issue. But still, I feel things now in my knee, my ankle, opening my hips up, more so than I ever needed to. Because if you don't need that, why are you even going to pay attention to it? But if you train for a long time, eventually your body, if you're not doing it right, you do either harm or good, right? So we want to do good. Are you going to have the surgery?
When it's available.
Okay. Let's get that up.
If not, I'll come up with a different way to do a sidekick.
You got it. And that's all we did today was sidekicks. That's subscribe. Hey!